Okay. Hey, today we're going to learn how to graph a point by using a rectangular coordinate system, or for short, a coordinate plane. Alright, so we're going to start with the very basics. We're going to start with two intersecting lines that form a perpendicular intersection. Alright, so here I have a vertical line, and then right in between it, I'm going to intersect it with the horizontal line. Okay, see how we form a right angle right here? So that means it's perpendicular. Alright, so my vertical line is called the y-axis, and my horizontal line is called the x-axis. And the point of intersection is called the origin. That is called the origin, and it is defined by the point 0, 0. Alright, and so this rectangular coordinate system is divided into 4 different quadrants. This first one is called the first quadrant, and then we're going to go in a counterclockwise direction. This one would be our second quadrant, and then our third quadrant, and last, our fourth quadrant. Let me go ahead and label our x-axis. So one distance from the 0 is 1, and we have our 2, 3, 4, 5, and that continues infinitely in that direction. And now to the left of our 0, we have our negative values, which 1 point behind basically 0 is -1, -2, -3, -4, and these are the points. Okay, that's a 4. Alright, and now same with our y-axis. Anything above the origin, or our point 0, 0, is a positive value. So we have our 1, 2, 3, 4. Anything below that is a negative value. So -1, -2, -3. And then that also continues infinitely in the positive direction and negative direction. Yeah, I should probably put arrows on these. Alright, to indicate that they go on forever. Alright, so now let's say that we're asked to graph the point. Let's say we have 6 and 7. Let's say we're asked to graph the point 7, 8. Alright, so this first number is our x value, or this is telling us where to go, right or left. And in this case, it's telling us to go to 7, and 7 is actually to the right of our origin, or to the positive value, and we'd go 7 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's where we are in our x-axis. And now the next value, the 8, is going to tell us where to go vertically, or up and down. And so now this is telling us to go up 8. So now from 7, I'm going to go up 8 spaces, and that's going to be like way up here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's going to be way up here, guys, right here. So that's the point 7, 8. Alright, so yeah, so the first value is our x, and then the second value is our y. Alright, and so now each coordinate is very special because every single one has a different sign. And so if we have a point in this quadrant, in our first quadrant, then our x value is going to be positive. See how we're at the right of our 0? And so our x value is going to be positive. So I'm going to put a T for positive. And then our y value is also above the origin, so it's also going to be positive. Get out, Dali. Alright, and now moving along to the next quadrant 2, our x is actually to the left of the origin, and so our x value is going to be a negative value. For example, if I'm told to graph the point -1, 2, I'm going to go to -1 for my x and up 2. And so with that said, our y-axis is actually going to be positive because it is above the origin. Alright, and now down to the third quadrant, we're actually going to have a negative value for our x because we are at the left of the origin, or we're going a negative direction, but never mind, I take that back. You don't go a negative direction, but to the left of it, so you're getting more negative. And now the y-axis, we're also below the origin, and so that point is also negative. So right here we have a negative, negative. All right, and then moving along to the fourth quadrant, our x is actually to the right of the 0, or it has the positive value. It's going to have a positive x value. So I'm going to put a plus for our x value. And now our y is below the origin or the x-axis, so then that's going to be a negative value. And so yeah, if you let's say we're given the point -3, -4, since our -3 is negative, or our x value is negative, and also our y value is negative, we know we're going to be in the third quadrant. Alright, so now the next important thing is, what if a point is on the line? Let's say this point, 0, -3. Would it be on the third quadrant or the fourth quadrant? And now the thing with this is, it actually doesn't belong to any quadrant. This is called an intercept. Intercept. And what an intercept is, it's when it's on one of the axes, either the y-axis or the x-axis. And in this case, this one is on the y-axis on this point, and so that's going to be a y-intercept, and it's defined by a 0 for the x, because we didn't move to the right or to the left for the x. And then let's have another one, 7, that's called an x-intercept. So now I'm gonna put a y right here for y-intercept, and now for this point 7, 0, this one is called an x-intercept. And that is defined by the point 7, because we're moving to the right 7, and we're actually not going up or down any points, and so that's why this is 0. So yeah, these are called our intercepts, and they don't belong to any point. They don't belong to any quadrant. That's what I meant. Alright, so then let's give a couple examples. Let's say we're asked to identify the point 7, 2, and let's also find 3, -4, 5, make that -5, -6, and -5 and 2. Alright, so first we gotta start by making a coordinate plane. Okay, and then we label our x-axis and our y-axis. So our vertical is called the y-axis, and our horizontal line is called the x-axis. Let's say we're asked to graph these points. Alright, so before I start graphing them, I'm gonna make my coordinate plane, and I'm gonna label my points. So on my x-axis, I know here's my origin, 0, 0. I'm gonna label my x-axis. Anything to the right of my 0 is positive. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, and then 10. And now I'm gonna go the same in the opposite direction. -1, -2, -3, and so on. Right, and then same thing with my y-axis. Anything above the origin is positive, and anything below that is negative. -5. Alright, so next we're told to graph the point 7, 2. So I'm going to begin by labeling what is my x and what is my y. So my first point, that is my x-axis. That's going to tell me how to go right or left, basically. Okay, and now the next point 2 would be my y. So that's going to tell me how many points to go up, down, above or below the x-axis, basically. Alright, so first I'm going to start off with my x, because that's the first number I'm given. And so we're going to go to the right 7 times, because our x is positive, and so we're going to have a positive value for our 7. And so here it is, 7. And now our y value, it's positive 2, and so we're gonna go up 2 values. So here's 1 and here's 2, and now I'm gonna put a dot on that point and label it 7, 2. Alright, for my next point is 3, negative 4. So my x is positive 3, so I know I'm gonna go to the right 3 units from the origin. So here's 1, 2, and 3. And now my y value, it's negative 4. So I know I'm gonna have to go below the x-axis, below this line. And so I'm gonna go down 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's my point 3, negative 4. Right? Sorry if you can see that. Alright. And next we have the point negative 5, negative 6. Alright, so my x is telling me to go to basically the left 5 times, or from the origin. So I'm going to be at negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now my y is telling me to go down 6 spaces. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 and label that point right there. Okay, and then next we have negative 5, 2. So now my x is at negative 5. So I would look on the y value and find my negative 5. Here it is. And now my y value is telling me it's 2. So next I'm going to find my 2 on the y value. So it'll be right here. And then also what you can do is make this intersection right there. And you see that point where they intersect? That's your point. Alright, so negative 5, 2. And that's basically it. I guess we'll end it with a y and an x-intercept. So y-intercept is always going to have your x value 0, because you're not going to move left or right. You're going to be on this plane. So that's how you know it's a y-intercept. So 0, 5. Let's say we're asked to find that point. So we would start at our 0, we're not moving left or right in a direction. So next, we would just go up 5 spaces, and that is way up here. That's 0, 5. Right, and now next, let's say we're told to find the x-intercept of 7, 0. And this is an x-intercept because your y value is 0, meaning you're not going to move off this y-axis plane. You're not going to go up or down from it. Alright, so we're at 7, which is right here. And then again, we're not going up or down any spaces, so we're going to stay right here. And that's 7, 0. Alright, and that's about it.